good to be back on stage. I'm still saying this after what happened on the Oscar stage. I think, Bhavna, you can relate to what I'm saying. You're doing anyway a great job. But quickly to introduce myself, I'm Prakash. I come from the land of Mr. Rajnikant. So hope you understand when I say I believe in miracles, right? So the company that I represent, Freshworks, and its story has been nothing but short of that. So I've been in the business for about 10 years now. We have about 50,000 customers using our omni-channel support systems, and with a revenue of about $300 million US, and with a revenue of about, and we are growing about 40% year on year. So this is the magical story I was talking about. And of course, I'm not going to take all the credit for what we did. There are a lot of it, we owe it to the ecosystem. And I think as a company, we grew along with the startup ecosystem in India, right? So here, in this presentation, I'm sure I'm the 145th speaker today. I'll try not to be harsh on you guys, right? And Bhavna, I'll try to keep it lively. At least I'll try to put them to sleep, right? So here, there is no global GAN that I'm going to talk about. Of course, I'm not going to teach you what CX is. I'm sure you know it better than us. But as a company, Freshworks had this opportunity of working with some of the best in the industry, right, in the last 10 years. So we actually learned, tried, failed along with these companies. So I'm just going to take a leaf out of this experience and just share it with you, correct? So before I do that, just one quick question. Is there anyone in the room who was a support rep in the past, who started your career? Just raise your hands if you can. Great. So I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying. Multiple screens, one for login, one for raising the support query, and then one for the stick cricket and one for billiards. And there are multiple other screens that we had open to solve one single customer query, right? And not just that, we had our L2 teams who are always busy, and plus our manager behind our back just to make sure we complete that call within a minute and we pass it on to the next team, right? And we had multiple teams to who we had to transfer these calls. So I did this role for about a year, and I probably learned the most important lesson in my life. Be it marriage or customer support, forget delighting, even meeting expectation is going to be difficult. Yeah, I see a lot of smiles. I know you agree with this. Yes. So here, that's the broken system I was talking about, right? So, but today, I think in the modern age, the support has totally changed. The new digital customers are completely different from who they were a few years ago. Today, they are redefining the support, in fact. Now, when I say this with a lot of conviction, because today, when we talk to a lot of industry leaders, there are some common themes that we hear and some of the common challenges that we hear from the market leaders. One, they talk about anytime, anywhere support. The customer really wants us to be everywhere today, and thanks to WhatsApp, they've been helping us to an extent now. And after that, they need the support to be hyper-personalized, in fact, and in fact, they need a lot of context. Even before the customer talks to us, he wants us to know who he is, right? And other than this, they want the support to be continuous, consistent, and seamless, right? So with that, there is another big challenge that we see in the market, that is of the agents. No matter how hard we are trying, our agents today are for sure not enabled well, right? The ticket queries are going up constantly. And if you look at pandemic, right, and that did not help for sure, the hybrid work environment and the learning that they had to go through remotely, all this just added to the complexity of what is already a complex business of customer support. Now, so this is exactly the problem probably we started trying to solve for PhonePe a few years back. Rather than just taking you through all the stories, I thought I'll probably narrate one of the case studies that we have, right? So when we started out with PhonePe, they were already big. They were executing about 40 million transactions, and they had about 1,500 agents, plus they also had 1,000 SKUs. Now, when they came to us, they were also growing rapidly thanks to the big billion days and the sale days that they used to happen. They were pretty much unplanned. So this was the exact solution that we were trying to fix, but Modi had other plans. He said, bingo, demonetization, right? So what was already a complex situation just got multiplied here. From executing 40 million transactions within no time, PhonePe had to execute about 290 million transactions in a very, very short span, right? So imagine even if 1% of this converted into a support ticket, imagine the number of support agents that PhonePe would have needed on their floor. For the first time in my life, I thought India does not deliver enough engineers, right? So, here, our charter was very clear. We knew what we were trying to solve for PhonePe. Now, when we sat with them, even before we putting the solution together, we asked very simple but very important questions. One is, can we make the life of the support agent better? Can we make the entire journey of customer support for the customer very, very simple? And 3, can PhonePe do it with one solution, which is not probably stitched, and just do it with one single screen? And that's exactly what we tried to achieve, right? So as the process started, we were very clear on what we wanted to do first. We wanted to make sure enough queries did not go to the customer support agent. We wanted to free up his time. So the first thing we did was we put in the bots. So when the bots kicked in, thanks to our bots, it's a no-code, low-code platform. So we built about 1,400 automated workflows, which really deflected about 85% of the queries. Now, once we achieved that, we immediately saw the results. It showed in our CSAT. And the step 2 was very simple. And then we had to go to social media. Thanks to demonetization, customers were speaking everywhere, be it, say, LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. So we wanted to build a very strong arm for PhonePe, so they had their eyes and ears open in these social media pages. So every time a customer complaint was raised somewhere, we wanted to just make sure it can come into the system, and we had an actual support agent working on it immediately. Now, after that, the next important thing that we did was empowering the agents, right? So imagine the scale that I'm talking about, and just multiplied with the number of products PhonePe kept adding every day. So I used to joke with the PhonePe executive that if in case someone in PhonePe had to learn every product they had, probably they would end up retiring even before they take the first call, right? So that was the number of products that they had. So just adding to the complexity. So what we did was we did 2 important things. One, we automated the ticketing system. We ensured the queries got routed to the right agents based on their skill set and the workload. And the second important thing that we did then was let the AI work at the back end and, in fact, be the coach for the support agent. Now, during pandemic or even during when there was a spike due to demonetization, they were adding agents at a rapid pace. And to be honest, what PhonePe couldn't do was train these agents at scale, and it's just not possible, right? So and money is a serious business. Imagine a scenario where you have lost about 10,000 on the platform, and the agent replies saying, "Thank you for being with PhonePe, you're a great customer." Right? So that's a situation we never wanted PhonePe to be in. So we wanted to make sure they always get the right context before they support a customer, and also they get the right canned responses that they can send. Now, having solved for this, the next thing that we did was the collaboration. Now, with about 1,400 SKUs, the number of admin teams, the number of finance folks, or number of business leaders that a single support agent has to work was unimaginable, right? Every time a support query was raised, it used to go through chain of people, through Microsoft Teams, and then through multiple Slack channels, and then WhatsApp group, and then by the time the support agent gets it, the customer has already lost it, right? Because it's money. So what we did was we wanted to make sure the actual agent who has taken the complaint becomes the owner for the issue, right? And he gets to see everything that happens on a particular ticket, and as it travels through the team and how it has been solved, he gets the complete context. So in a way, what it really did for PhonePe is they got a very, very rich customer profile. Even before the customer call actually landed, the agent knew whom he was talking to, what was the last issue that was spoken to him about, was there any fraudulent transaction in the account, are there any open tickets. This is the kind of information that you want to equip your agent with, right? And that's exactly what we did with PhonePe, and I think the way they supported completely changed from that day on. Now, this is pretty much the magic mantra, or probably the magic pill that we prescribe to any company who are actually going through the transformation journey. But it's not just that. There are so many other variables, right? But probably if I have to add one important variable to the equation is the human variable, right? And the reason I say is like philosophically, we say everything starts from within. And I truly believe in customer support, everything starts with the customer support agent, right? To be honest, we have to make him the hero. And customer, depending on your leave it to you, you can make them the heroine or the second hero. But these 2 people are the most important people in your business. Unless your agent is happy, he's not going to deliver that excellent wow moment to the customer, right? So as long as you have them as the centerpiece and you build processes around it, I'm sure you're going to have a great customer support center, right? It can be bots, it can be WhatsApp, it can be digital, it can be phone, email, whatever it is. Just make sure this is taken care. Now, with that, probably I'll leave you alone and wish you a great evening. But before that, I just want to draw you to one single slide. wherein I want to talk about the global jam that we are putting together in some of the key cities in India. Here we have got all the thought leaders coming in as speakers, and also we would love to invite you, be a part of the event, either as a customer speaker or a prospect or just as friends. We'll welcome you with open hands, and we'll really be glad to having you. And probably for this, if in case you wanted to just catch up for a couple of minutes, we'll be happy to catch up over the counter just outside the room. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Bye-bye. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, yes, now I'm audible. All right, if there are any audience questions, please do raise your hand. We have a couple of minutes on the session, so if you do have any questions, of course, we'd encourage you to go to the booth and continue the conversation. Is there any question which, yes, ma'am? Okay, perfect.
Hi, hello.
Hi, be kind on me.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Rumpa. I am from Indian Performing Rights Society. So our society is India's only copyright society representing the author, composer, songwriters of music. So we issue license and pay royalties to the creators of music. So one challenge what we are facing when we are trying to automate and implement chatbot is that the entire system depends on a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence. But in India, there are a lot of organizations who are not ready for this. So you don't have that kind of data stored in the system. And that's creating a lot of hindrance and delay in the process. So what's the approach for these kind of organizations in India? We don't have that kind of data-backed system already in place.
Actually, a very good question. To be honest, a lot of companies who are into the business of chatbot, we are still at a nascent stage. There is still a lot of learning to go when it comes to machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all of it. So what a lot of the companies have done is we have only started automating things that are redundant, queries that you don't want the support rep, and the queries that are not very key to your business or sensitive to the customers, right? So we have tried to keep it safe right now and made sure we are only helping the support reps to live a better life by automating some of these queries and not necessarily sending some of the more challenging or the questions that need a lot of learning from the system. Of course, we are on track, we are still learning, but still some time to go for it. So I would advise you to just stay away from automating some of these key sensitive issues before we let the machines take that over.
Also, one more thing which we have observed is that in the, like as per Indian psycho, like psyche, that like people don't kind of communicate clearly. So they have something, so they will like just say like a 10% or 15%, and the expectation is that you are my society or you are my kind of like brand, so you should know me. So the insights are like also very weak. So then so like do you also have a similar experience while working with like in Freshworks, or how do we tackle these kind of?
Probably this one lesson I learned the hard way after I got married. Yeah. So you never get the complete context. It's just those 2-3 lines you are expected to pick that up. And guy being a guy, it was so difficult. And of course, when we run these support, especially support centers, right, we get to work with a lot of big support centers. And this is one of the biggest challenges, right? Be it on chat, when customers chat with you, like if in case you have used Swiggy, if you have used, say, Dunzo, if you have used PhonePe or Paytm, any of it, you're actually using Freshworks, you're part of our platform, I should actually welcome you to the family, right? If you look at it, not every customer is very vocal or very clear on what they want, right? Sometimes there is a lot of misunderstanding between what they communicate, and in fact, and it's even more difficult when we move out of the tier 1 cities. Tier 1 cities are still fine, but we go deep down when we move to the tier 2, tier 3, the language barrier plus how we communicate with the reps are completely different. So, and that's the exact time the phone support comes in, right? So, and it's one of the biggest challenge across all industries that we see, and it's not just one particular industry where we see this challenge.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I hope that answered your question. We'd like to encourage more questions. If there are any, please just raise your hand. I'll get the mic passed on. Is there any other question? Can I give you 5 seconds to think over? All right, no. Let's not, delay our speaker. Thank you so much, Prakash. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause.